Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's edition of NASCAR 07 on the channel. It is the custom scheduled truck series season, as it is only a 20 race schedule, and we have two of them for you here today. Races 2 and 3 of the season at the Milwaukee Mile and then at the Bristol Motor Speedway. So back-to-back short track races for you guys. Not going to waste too much time before getting into this one. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as we get into the running of this race at the Milwaukee Mile here today. Qualified 28th for race 1. Ron Hornaday on the pole after winning the season opener at Daytona. He's looking to go back-to-back to start the season like in our Cup Series, where our driver Mark Martin has won the first 3 races. Truck felt a little tight in practice. I got it a little bit better by the end of the practice session, and then for qualifying, it felt a little too tight still. I tried to loosen it up a little bit more after qualifying. We'll see where it's at for the race, but starting deep in the field. This is the first time I've ran a flat track in any series on this game since we started the playthrough, and sure enough, it's the second truck race of the schedule, so still trying to get used to it. We finished in the 32nd place position in the season opener at Daytona, so looking for obviously a better finish today, and hopefully our first top 10. Hopefully we can get at least good finishes in each of the first 2 races. Green flag is in the air, 200 laps, 200 miles. This is the longer of the 2 races tonight, and one of the longest truck races of the season. Immediately off the start, Bodine trying to get down to the inside lane. Looked like he might have been there in the 110. Got back in the gas a little too soon. And now he's going to be 3 wide on the outside. Down the backstretch heading into turns 3 and 4. Still stuck up on the outside lane. This is not good for Todd Bodine. 3 wide. Just hoping he gets enough room underneath him. A lot of contact made off of turn 4 there. Still 3 wide. There is nowhere to go for Bodine right now. The dangers of being in the middle of the pack. Hornaday leads lap 1 at the front in the 33 truck. Man, it is tight. Can't blame me for making contact when we're 3 wide on the outside on a flat track like this. It is just, yeah, we can't hold this lane too much longer. Oh my goodness. That was just brutal. Got bullied. Well, there's the loss of the 8 spots we had from qualifying. I was fastest in practice. And then in qualifying, I don't know, maybe I loosened it up a little too much. I don't know what the problem was there. Long ways to go, obviously, in this one, even with the shorter races in the truck series. Again, this is one of the shorter races of the season. Just gonna have to try to pick them off one by one. Down to the bottom of the racetrack. Oh my gosh, truck got really loose that time. Yep, I'm going around. I'm going around. Nope. I think I clipped the apron a little too much and lost the truck that way. Good Lord. It doesn't look like I practiced at all, to be completely honest. I think we're okay. At least we got a little bit of clean air now. I think the truck's a little too loose. I loosened it up a skosh from qualifying. I think it's a little too loose off the exit of the corner. It rolls in fine. Ron, Davion West, thanks for tuning in. I had a lot of success running this middle groove in practice. Tried to stick more on the bottom in qualifying. Truck got really loose off turn 4 again there, and I just kind of dove it down to the bottom myself. Kind of let the truck turn that way. This is definitely looking as if it could be just a 1 pit stop race today. Definitely going to have to be careful. Bodine catching up to the back of the field again. Hornaday seemingly pulling away at the very front of the pack. Best lap in the early going that last time by. Yep, I got tight that time. Now I'm in traffic and I get tight. I'm loose on my own off the exit of the corner, center of the corner when you have trucks lined up in front of you. Not that good. You know what's going to help that? If we can get some clean air and get that track position, that's really going to help. Contact again with another truck in front of Bodine. We're just going to have to be patient. It's hard to do on a short track to not make contact as it is, but there's a block. Just going to have to let this 107 truck down in front of us. Try to take care of it because there's been a lot of contact in the opening laps. Billy Kramer, thanks for tuning in also. Trying to give myself a little bit more room getting into the corner there. A lot of contact again, and even more off the exit of the corner. We're going to make a lot of people mad in this race. I have a bad feeling. The bad part is we have Bristol coming up next, and I don't know how that's going to go. It is way too loose. It is way too loose. I didn't really have anybody around me, though, in practice and qualifying, so this is kind of a first. George, welcome into the stream. Little slide job getting into turn 3. Luckily, Bodine was clear. Really going to need the field to space apart sometime soon because it is sketchy getting through the pack right now. That's why you have to qualify well. Big stack up in front of Todd Bodine that time. I think those two trucks in front of him, the 107, the 106, got together. And off the checkup, Bodine got into the inside of another truck. See him wiggling around quite a bit in the center of the corner. Definitely going to have to figure out a way to tighten this thing up. I don't know if I'm going to make it 100 laps with it driving like this, honestly. Hornaday's just been passed for the lead. The very front of the field. Mark DeMars, Patrick Shadley, welcome into the stream also. Notorious slow starter for... Some things I just can't fix. I can't enter in that low. I have to sweep the corner off. Todd Bodine going to get past there. I tried to make that late block going into the corner. I just can't stick that low on the entry. Just had to let him go. Really good when I can widen the entry out. Great drive off that time for Bodine. Getting blocked, though, top and bottom by the truck in front of him that just passed him that last lap in turn 1. His teammate, Ted Musgrave, up towards the outside. Todd Bodine going to get underneath of him off of turn 2. Makes a clean pass on Musgrave. Musgrave also finished pretty deep in the field at Daytona, just one spot better than Bodine in 31st. Great corner entry, 3 wide. Todd Bodine trying to make a clean pass down onto the bottom. Drag race now in the back straightaway. He's going to try to outbrake him into turn 3. He does. It stays down to the bottom. I thought he was going to slide up a little wide. He did not. It also gets by the 164 with a clean pass. So up to 20th. Todd Bodine slowly getting himself through the field. But it is a work in progress. This is definitely the hardest track for me to drive so far, I will say that much. I know we've only been to a few, but the Cup Series at Dover, no problem. Milwaukee and the Truck Series, this is... Thank goodness I don't go here in the Cup side. I do go to New Hampshire twice, though, so that's going to be a struggle, but... Oh, and there's a turn into the inside wall off the exit of turn 2. Pretty heavy damage there on Todd Bodine's race truck. I think I got loose and I turned down into him and then wrecked myself, unfortunately. Caution flag is out. And that will send Todd Bodine to the rear of the field. Our first caution of the race, Todd Bodine involved right after he was starting to work his way a little bit closer towards the front, unfortunately gets involved in an accident. So to the rear of the field he goes. Can't take fuel or tires in this situation. Gonna have to suffer the consequences, unfortunately. Well, we're gonna try to pick them up and put them down again. Hopefully all goes well. Single file restart. Green flag back in the air. Bodine spinning the tires on the restart, having to get going in the middle of the corner there. Lap 22 on the restart following the first caution of the day at Milwaukee. We had 4 cautions. Oh my gosh, yeah. The car is even looser after that slide, I'm not going to lie, because I just turned straight into that inside wall. It is going to be tough for Todd Bodine to pass trucks. It was tough before. It's going to be even tougher now. These worn out tires. A little bit of clean air now to try to gather himself after losing the pack on the restart. Still likely to be a one-stop race. I think that's why everybody stayed out, maintaining their position on track. I just wish I would have qualified better. That's the sad part. I didn't even choose to start at the rear of the field today. I had time to practice and qualify. Fastest in practice, I think I went the wrong way at the setup and qualifying and went even further in the wrong direction here in the race, unfortunately. I should have just kept the setup the way it was. I felt it was too tight and I was in clean air, and that's why I made the adjustment change, because I was like, man, if I get in traffic, this thing is just going to push. Now it's not pushing, it's sideways. So we went way too far into the loose category. Loose is fast if you can hang on to it, but Todd Bodine having a hard time trying to hang on to it here tonight. We're going to alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race today. 7 seconds off the lead, 25 laps in out of 200. Our second race at Bristol tonight will be 200 laps as well, but that will be on a half-mile short track, so much shorter race there. Corey Freight, thanks for tuning in. It turned in too early again. Golly. Looking like a rookie. Even rookies aren't that bad. Most of them. This truck isn't going to look very clean at the end of the night. My goodness. I mean, it turns way too freely. I just have to be more patient getting in. It's tough too, because once you get into traffic, it handles a lot different than what it does in clean air. Not bad in turns 3 and 4. All 36 trucks still in this race. Way wide, and I'm scared of that inside wall. I'll enter high and try to cut the corner off in the middle, honestly. I'm by myself. Two more days till opening day. Man, that came up quick. One truck did just blow a motor and made his way into the pits. So that will move Bodine up to 35th. Looked like one of the fantasy drivers making an unscheduled stop. The thing that scares me is that bad start to Daytona. Not necessarily in the race itself. I mean, it wasn't the greatest race. I don't think we ran higher than 13th, but just the bad finish to the race more than anything. And not only having that bad finish if you're Todd Bodine, but now you're in a situation where, I mean, there's only 18 races left after this, 17 after Bristol tonight. Where are you going to be in points after 3 races if he struggles in the second race just like he's struggling here in this one? Hornaday starting towards the front. He already got 5 bonus points for this race. Yep, there we go again. Inside and then to the outside. They need to just get rid of that inside pit wall. I don't care if pit lane's right there. Just get rid of it. Because I'm fine in turns 3 and 4. It's not as narrow getting in. It's weird, too, because I'm not even clipping the grass in that end of the track, but in turns 1 and 2, it is bad. It's not tight, it's loose. It's way too free. I was tight earlier, but at least I can drive it. Can't even do that right now. By myself. Can't wait to get fresh tires on this thing. We're only going to have one chance to make an adjustment in this race, too. We have to try to make the most of it. Ran our fastest lap. 26.247. David Reagan towards the back of the field right now. He's not off to a good start in this race. Big run for Todd Bodine getting down into turn 3, but Reagan with the block getting into the corner. Bodine couldn't make the pass. Couple trucks going pretty wide off the exit of turn 4. Kept it off each other. How do you make passes in this situation when your truck is ill handling? If you're Todd Bodine. There's the dive in the center. 3 wide. He didn't take it 3 wide on entry. He was 3 wide in center of the corner. 3 wide on entry, though, getting into the next corner. There's a lot of contact and a wreck. David Reagan hard into the wall. Bodine's up there, too. That did not stick going into the corner 3 wide, and it did not work. And we have our second caution in the early going of the race today. We are tearing this truck to pieces right now. Lord have mercy. Whew, man. I didn't think it was going to be like this tonight. I thought we were going to have a pretty fun race. I drove it in deep. If I could have cleared the 6, it would have been fine. I didn't clear them, though, unfortunately. Both of us paid the ultimate price. Trying to repair the damage again and get going. Everybody else staying out. I mean, these extra cautions should guarantee the fact that it should be a one-stop race. Todd Bodine spinning the tires on the restart again. I can't get going on the restarts because I restart in the middle of the corner. I think if I was on the straightaways, I'll be fine. David Reagan is a rival now of Todd Bodine, so that's not good. Damage to the right front of the race truck for Todd Bodine, getting into that outside wall pretty hard. Wonder if that's going to tighten him up. Oh, the 105's upset too, so we have 2 rivals right in front of us. They have every right to be upset with Todd Bodine right now. Make the pass that time getting into turn 1. Yeah, this is not going to be an easy pass. Todd Bodine going to squirt underneath the 105. He's not clear. A lot of side drafting on that back straightaway. The Todd Bodine will pull clear into the corner. Well, he made a clean pass on him one way or another. And now he has a 6 truck of David Reagan in front of him. He might be even more upset. Aaron Crocker towards the back of the pack right now. Reagan going all the way down to the inside, trying to block as well. So he makes the pass on the 98 of Crocker. Crocker started on the pole in that season opener at Daytona. Big moment there. Bodine all over the racetrack. I'm not doing that intentionally either. Just trying to hang on to it. It's weird how the truck gets as light as it is off the exit of the corner with it being a flat track. It's not like it's a transition to the banking. I can see if we were on a banked oval, but couple passes made by Bodine. Aaron Crocker trying to get back around David Reagan in the 6. Here's a run. Oh boy, it looked like Reagan was going to try to turn Todd Bodine off the exit of turn number 4. He did not, though. He couldn't quite get to him. Bodine overruns the corner into turn 1, gets into Aaron Crocker. And now the 137, who's another rival. I think that was the truck that Bodine turned himself off of during that first yellow. He got by David Reagan. Reagan overdrives turn 3, maybe trying to get to the bumper of the 30. Todd Bodine gonna wait. Wide in the center of the corner, cuts it down into the middle, got a little loose, power slide. And a block back to the outside. Here comes David Reagan down to the bottom. Make the pass on that truck that Todd Bodine passed getting into turn 1 that lap. Bodine right back to where he started in 28th. And Musgrave's made a couple spots back up. Craig Kenzer trying to move the 164 out of the way in the middle of turns 1 and 2. So now the 137's up on the outside. Bodine with a run down to the bottom. Contact getting into turn 1. Todd Bodine makes the pass and actually drives underneath his teammate Ted Musgrave as well. Tell you what, if this is bad, just wait till we get to Martinsville in the Cup Series for 500 laps. Good luck there. Is this how all the flat tracks are going to be? I need to figure them out. It's weird because those are my best tracks in NASCAR 05 and NASCAR 06. Roles reversed in this game. I was not trying to do that. Surprised I held on to it. 50 laps in. Up to 23rd. Too far wide getting into turn 1. Does feel like this truck's got some straightaway speed. I'll give it that. 129 truck back to the inside of Todd Bodine once again. Bodine going to get a good run, though, off the exit of turn 4 on the outside that time. He'll be able to get back down to the bottom into turns 1 and 2. Power slides, a little contact trying to catch the truck. 129 going to get right back around him. Todd Bodine protects the bottom. Scott Lagasse Jr. in the 04 truck on the outside behind him. Ted Musgrave is stuck in line behind the 04 as well. Up high as they get passed by trucks down on the bottom. There's another fantasy truck leading that was not leading off the last restart, by the way. A lot of the names of the fantasy drivers switched trucks in this game from what I noticed, so I couldn't tell you who exactly that is leading right now. Until we get used to them. Fastest lap of the day that last time for Todd Bodine. Banging fenders down into turn 1. Had contact there also, got really loose, hangs on to it. And lost those 2 spots he just gained. End up wrecking again. I hope not. Pull off a little side draft that time. Yep, not clear. Golly. Oh man, I didn't see. I pulled down when I wasn't really paying attention out of the rear view. And right back to 26 again. Now we got to get back around David Reagan. We probably just ticked off the 137 a little bit more also. We'll get back to the inside of the rookie, Scott Lagacy Jr. will pass him in turns 3 and 4. Gets to the inside of David Reagan on the front stretch. I'd like to clear him going into turn 1. Here we go. This is where they wrecked earlier. There's contact, but luckily Bodine didn't go up towards the wall with Reagan like he did the last time they made contact in a similar fashion. Todd Bodine to the outside of the 137 truck, getting down into turns 3 and 4. He gets slammed into the wall. Okay, that was deserved. I'll give him that. That was deserved. Find a hold to get right back down onto the bottom at least. The madhouse in the back of the pack right now. Oh boy, I thought he was going to try to wreck us again. Got a little loose, down into the grass, into Lagacy and Reagan. Todd Bodine locking the brakes up, getting into turn 1. He's trying to make sure he was going to clear David Reagan that time. Quickly to the inside of Lagacy into turn 3. More leanage. And they can't get off of one another. Up to the wall they go. Oh my gosh. This is a mess. I'm trying way too hard to try to get out of. You want short track racing, you came to the right place tonight. My goodness. Everybody's using everybody up. Bodine maybe at the forefront of all of it. I mean, wheel hopped it going into turn 3. Goes a bit wide, a lot of bottom lane open. No pass made. He got into the back of the truck in front of him, and that's going to cost him a spot. Back and forth from like 23rd to 30th for a while now. 60 laps complete. That's not going to work. Unbelievable. Yep, there we go. I can't. Oh my golly. Get away from Erin Crocker. She's upset. Okay. 33rd. About a half a lap off the lead. It'd be nice to get a caution that I'm not involved in. I've had 2 yellows today. I've been involved in both, unfortunately, so I've been able to try to take fresh tires and make an adjustment change. One truck is out of the race, so there's only 2 trucks in the rear view of Bodine right now. Note to self, qualify better when I go to Bristol. I don't have to deal with this mess. Also hope that nobody at Bristol rival-wise is anywhere near us. Got slammed into the wall once already. I get into trouble like that. I just have to hold my line. I don't do that, and I get myself in even more trouble than what I'm already in. Confront other drivers after the race. Well, at least we have an ally. Had to have been from Daytona, one of our drafty partners there, I'd imagine. 128. We'll give Todd Bodine a little bit of room. Clip the apron, got a little loose off turn 2. Luckily, no contact was made with the truck that Bodine is battling with into turn 3. And he got tight in the middle of the corner, overdrove the entrance. Todd Bodine up to 31st. 12 seconds off the lead right now. And Ted Musgrave, his teammate, will be the next truck he is going to try to catch. Todd Bodine going to be looking low. Man, these Germain Racing, or the Chevrolets, they're struggling this season. Because even Musgrave not looking quick back in the 31st place position with Bodine getting around him. This thing is just... I can't hold a straight line to save my life right now. Musgrave closed back in with how wide Todd Bodine was all the way through turns 1 and 2. Good thing this thing's 200 laps. I think the reason why it's a longer truck race is because it would have been a standalone event with the Busch Series at the time. Yeah, yep. Got back in the gas too soon there. I tried to lift before the exit of the corner and it still wasn't enough. If I would have lifted earlier, probably would have been able to catch it. Oh, got into Legacy. Musgrave back to the inside of Todd Bodine. Bodine gonna have to let his teammate go. Wide sweeping corner. Todd gonna try to cross him back over. Oh no, making contact with his teammate now. Gets to the inside of Legacy. Legacy may try to door him. I think he would have tried by now. Luckily, no contact. Clean pass that time. Bodine gets by the 04. Quarter of a tank of gas left at this point in the run. Lap 75. I mean, even with the couple cautions, it's still going to be close on fuel to the very end. Pulls him right back in on that 137 truck again, too. Got to get past the 106 first. He's going to go wide getting into turns 1 and 2. Todd Bodine turned down a little too early, though. And couldn't actually make the pass. We'll get him in 1 and 2, though. 106, going to try to cross him back over into turns 3 and 4, and he'll be able to do it. Crossover by Todd Bodine. That cut my straightaway speed down. This has to be the loosest truck I've ever had on a flat racetrack. Gets to the 137. That probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. He's got to clear him. Bodine got loose, though. Oh, I was still trying to catch it. Oh, there we go. Yep, now we wrecked. Lock it down, lock it down, lock it down. Don't back up in front of traffic. God bless him. Oh, my God. And that will be the third wreck of the race for Todd Bodine. Oh, right to the back we go. I got loose after making contact with him the first time, and I couldn't catch it after that. Still not going to be able to make it on field to the end from here, so I don't think anybody will pit. A little over 100 laps to go. Third caution of the night at Milwaukee, and it has been a wreck fest for yours truly, Todd Bodine, here tonight. 3.5 plus seconds of damage. Well, needs to be a Grand Theft Auto style. You get out of the car, walk around in the garage, would be cool. I don't even know what you do right now if you're Todd Bodine, how worn out these tires are. Not far away from green flag pit stops. Really got to try to stretch this out as long as you possibly can. We're going to transfer to Ted Musgrave in the number 9 truck here at the start-finish line. It'll be our first field pass of the day. He's got a much cleaner truck than Todd Bodine. We'll see if Musgrave can make some passes. He doesn't have any rivals right now as well. 3 wide down into turn 3. Contact with Lagacy. He couldn't get off of him. Well, there's going to be rivals now. There goes Bodine on the way through. Lagacy's upset. 3 wide into turn 3. It did not grip up. A lot of contact made there. So much for Ted Musgrave not having rivals. Sorry, Ted. Didn't deserve that. This truck does feel grippier than mine, I'll say that much. I think I was expecting it to turn more on entry because mine's so loose. Back up to Bodine. Slides wide middle of the corner. He's already up to 28th off the restart. He's got that going for him. Have to try to make it to lap 100, though, and it's going to be very, very difficult to do that. Big run right now for Todd Bodine. Back off of it a little early. Sit in line going into turn 1. Little contact there up the exit of the corner with a couple of trucks. You just get glued to him when you make contact in the center of the corner. We keep going up to the wall whenever we do make contact. Most of the time. Starting to bounce off of them in a better way than what we were before, but it's still risky every time, obviously. As we've seen, and as it feels, too, on my side of things. Bodine to the inside of Reagan. Oh boy. More contact. Todd Bodine makes the pass. 3 wide now. Oh my gosh, David Reagan. Well, he tried to get back at Todd Bodine. He did a great job of it. I don't know how he didn't wreck. He was so far sideways after making that initial contact. That was crazy. And a little more lineage. Trying desperately to make it to lap 100. It is going to be tough. We'll go back as Ted Musgrave one more time. Actually, we'll stay out for now. We got some trucks pitting. I should have known that they were going to pit how low they were at the end of the back straightaway. Well, they definitely pitted. Musgrave ran into the back of them pretty hard. Bodine, sorry. So those drivers pitting right now definitely won't be able to make it to the end. No chance they're going to be able to make it to the end of this race. So you have to stretch this out if you're Todd Bodine. This is a very, very tough circumstance for a lot of these drivers of whether they can make it on 1 or 2 stops. Todd Bodine staying out again. Crypto, welcome into the stream. So even with the 3 cautions we had in the first half of tonight's race, still looking like a fuel mileage race at the Milwaukee Mile in our Craftsman Truck Series event tonight. It's been a struggle all race for Todd Bodine. Closing back in on the 137 truck. Gets to his outside. He got squeezed into the wall last time he was on his outside, so he's going to try to potentially stay behind him here. And maybe it wasn't the wisest decision. You know, just got to stay behind him. And I'm going to try to pass him right now. Lap 100 at the line. Quite a few trucks have made it halfway. Todd Bodine going to try to go one more lap. Then he'll have to go 99 to the very end of the race. A lot of drivers may be coming into pit this time. Bill Lester will take over the race lead. 137's on his way in. Todd Bodine really stretching the tank. And he's out of gas. Oh, he stretched it one lap too far. He's going to have to limp it all the way around this 1 mile racetrack. Out of fuel for Todd Bodine. Trying to get some help into the pits. I don't know if it's going to happen. He gets a little bit of help from the 180. All the way around this 1 mile racetrack, too. Under power. Musgrave's in. And obviously Todd Bodine's going to be in as well. 4 tires and fuel. Tough break there. Going to make the air pressure adjustment. Going to take 4 pounds out. Going to leave the wedge the same. So massive air pressure adjustment here for Todd Bodine on pit road. As if the race couldn't get any worse, but that was definitely self-inflicted. Made it halfway. Was just trying to stretch to that extra lap. Now he's only got to go 99 to the end. But even if we do go 99 laps to the end, what is it going to be like for fuel purposes after that? 35th, last on track is where Todd Bodine runs after cycling off of pit road. Got fresh tires, made that air pressure adjustment. What will this truck handle like now? Ron Hornaday leads this race. I don't think he has pit yet because it's showing the 30 truck 2 laps down. Oh my gosh! It only took a half can? Why did it do that? I didn't even realize that. It only took a half can of gas. You've got to be joking me right now. Why is that even an option to come down and just take a quarter tank of fuel? And now I turned too early. I paused it and I got out of my rhythm. Well, now we will be 2 laps down once we do pit. You know what, though? As slow as I was running, I probably am 2 down on speed. We're going to have to pit again. I think everybody has already made their stop. Well, maybe not. I mean, there's still other trucks on pit road as we speak. And, yeah, I guess maybe they haven't all pit yet. We're definitely going to be 2 laps down. I mean, we're going to pit for fuel only next time we come in. I think Hornaday's on his way in this time. Nope, never mind. My truck is still loose, by the way. I made an air pressure adjustment. It is still loose. When it rains and pours, yes. That is perfect expression. You have to stay out as long as you can. Now, here comes Hornaday into pit. I think the leaders are right behind Todd Bodine. So he's gotten 1 lap back. He'll get that next lap back this time by. So somehow Todd Bodine's still going to be on the lead lap. The problem is he's going to need another caution so he can then pit for tires and try to make it from the back to the front again. Had 3 yellows so far today. Gonna need another. "25 seconds off the race lead. 186 truck back out in front. Todd Bodine not too far away from going a lap down at this pace, so. Truck's pretty damaged. Quarter tank of gas, could probably go, what, 25 laps? So about lap 125, 126. Got a slow truck down on the bottom of the track. Slowed up a lot of trucks up ahead. Truck trying to limp it into pit road. Bodine might be racing for position pretty shortly here. Can we get a caution? That's what Todd Bodine is asking right now. Can we get a yellow to at least keep him in the race after that pit road blunder? He did not get the tank full of gas. And that was after running out on track as well. Cost himself a lot of track position, as you see, back in 34th. The only two drivers he's ahead of are the two drivers that have blown the motor. Omar, thanks for tuning in. Why so far back? I ran out of gas during the last green flag run. I tried to stay out an extra lap, ran out. And so now we're in 34th, and we're the last truck on the lead lap. We're probably only going to be able to make it a little bit longer, and then Bodine's going to have to pit again. So I didn't get the tank full of fuel. We might see some other drivers that'll pit for the end of the race that we can get positions back on, but I guarantee that not everybody is going to have to pit. We're going to see some drivers make it a one stop. So Todd Bodine just in dire need of a caution here before he hits pit road. That's not going to help. I think Musgrave got ran into from behind too, by the 117 truck. Passing two trucks that corner for Bodine to get to 32nd. Musgrave in front of him. Wade Selinsky, thanks for tuning in also. Todd Bodine to the inside of his teammate on the front straightaway. Squeeze just a little bit getting into the corner. Now, because it's going to be a fuel-only stop, I think Todd Bodine's only going to be one lap down. The problem is, though, we've got some trucks that will likely end up going to lap down, too, so I don't think he's going to be in the free pass position. So not like that's really going to matter. Up to 30th. Again, this is our first of two races tonight. We will be racing at Bristol on this stream in the Truck Series after this race. Todd Bodine in dire need of a good run there. Finishing 32nd at Daytona, may finish worse here today at Milwaukee through the first two races of this custom schedule season, which is only 20 races long. I think I'm going to make a wedge adjustment when I get to pit road, too. Because I'm going to have to make that next stop. It's not really going to add much time onto the stop. Scrape into the wall off turn 4. A couple more laps and Bodine's going to pit. Just hoping for a yellow. Keep him on the lead lap. The only saving grace that this race has had for himself up to this point. I mean, Bristol's a short track, but the banked short track at Dover in the Cup Series I ran well at, so I'd like to think I can run good at Bristol. These flat tracks are going to have me suffer throughout the season, honestly. I think there's not many of them. I think Martinsville's twice, though, on this truck schedule, so that's a little concerning. But super speedways a couple times. Just got to capitalize on the non-super speedways and flatter short tracks. And hopefully we can still have a chance at the championship. Ron Hornaday having some good runs, not helping us, I'll say that much. Ty Bodine trying to make a pass on Craig Kinzer. Got underneath him, but couldn't complete the pass and had to sit back behind him through the backstretch and then heading into turns 3 and 4. Marvin Shett to the lead in the 192 truck off the exit of turn 4. 5 bonus points as he'll lead his first lap of the day. Ty Bodine will get by Craig Kinzer for 29th in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Not that that matters, considering he's going to have to pit soon. I'm going to pit next time. We'll stay out this lap, and then Ty Bodine will pit at lap 123. .24.5 seconds off the lead. We're driving the corner. Big time power slide. Got to stay on the bottom, though, because he's going to pit this time. Craig Kinzer tried to get underneath him, couldn't do it. And Ty Bodine coming into this narrow pit road. He's in. Gonna just put a full tank in it just to make sure. And yeah, there we go. So top it off, gas and go, just to make sure that he's only going to be 1 lap down instead of 2. There goes Crocker. The leaders are going to be right there. Bodine pulling up right in front of Musgrave, sorry. He's 2 laps down, unfortunately, though. Pulled up right in front of his teammate. That's a blend line. Got equal tires as Marvin Shett. Really hoping with that fuel-only stop he was going to be able to get back out in front of everybody. He was not. Oh my gosh! I forgot to make the wedge adjustment. I didn't realize it until I hit the wall right there. And then I was like, oh yeah, the car's still loose. Oh, we got a slow truck. That'll help. No caution. We stay green. Third driver to blow a motor today. That'll get Ty Bodine another spot. Bill Lester to the inside of Todd. Turns 1 and 2 will make the pass. I think he's in second. The 192 truck's got a massive lead now. Marvin Shett finished second at Daytona. Looking to win the race. He could be the early season points leader. I'm not trying to go that low in the middle of the corner. The truck is so loose. Just turns down there automatically. Barely have to tap the analog stick. I'm struggling. There's no way I'm gonna... Oh, we got another truck blowing up. Next lap, that'll be another spot. Ty Bodine to 32nd, right where he finished at Daytona. Bill Lester could run down this 192 truck of Marvin Shett to the end of this race. Get a win here in the early going of this truck season. alternate through the different camera angles one more time in today's race. See, the more I slide like that too, the looser it's going to get, because we're just going to be burning the rear tires off the race truck more and more. Does kind of seem like Bodine's closing in on Lester. Marvin Sheth still keeping a decent gap though over the 22 truck himself. Can't just mail it in, though. If we see quite a few trucks that have to pit before the end of this race, there's still positions that could be had. We definitely know that this 30 truck will make it to the end on fuel. Could see some more drivers DNF as well, like we've seen here in recent laps. I was all over the place that time in the middle of turns 1 and 2. That's 63 laps left. Lester going wide on the entry into turns 1 and 2. Todd Bodine right on his back bumper. Bodine to the inside. Oh, a little contact with the second place truck. And more contact, up into the wall they go. Once I made that initial contact, I got into him and I couldn't get off of him. Sorry, Bill. Such a failure. I think there's a chance I practice when I get to Bristol just to try to help myself so I can qualify better. I don't want to go into qualifying right away, just not playing it on this game. So we will run Bristol on this stream. I'm going to practice for a little bit. Try not to make it too long. Lester back to the inside of Todd Bodine again, though. We're going to be side by side all the way through. I got loose. I got loose and I turned into him. Just went straight left off the exit of the corner. Right into him. He didn't want to hit me before. He probably wants to hit me now. Tell you what, this position absolutely stinks. I give credit to anybody in real life, though, who's like a backmarker driver. Like, to just sit and be passed by everybody all day in a race. Like, not on the highway, but in a race. That's got to be a little bit demoralizing. There's really nothing you can do about it. This is kind of our situation here today. Thanks for tuning in once again, Earl. Still over 50 laps left in this one. Forced to run it out. Maybe we can luck into like a top 20 finish if enough drivers run out of gas at the end. Knowing it is a fuel mileage race. If we get a caution, I'm definitely pitting. If we get a yellow, though, everybody else will probably hit pit road too. I'm the only driver 2 laps down, so all the drivers that are 1 lap down will restart in front of us. Regardless if we pit or not. Odine has slowly pulled away from Lester, finally. For the most part, the truck handles well in clean air. Most of the time. But Sheth has put a lot of lap trucks between himself and Bill Lester right now. Seen drivers blow engines, though, and kind of hold some traffic up in the middle of the corners on both ends of the track. That's all it would take for Bill Lester to get back into this race. One more field pass yet in this one. We'll just get it over with right now. We'll go back to Ted Musgrave in the 90 for a lap. He is a lap down in 28th. 50 laps to go. We're only about a half a lap or so behind Musgrave. 28, so maybe on track we could actually catch some drivers for position. On top of the fact that we could see drivers run out. The thing is, though, with being 2 laps down, if drivers ran out of gas at the end of the race, it'd have to be with more than 2 laps to go if we're even going to catch them. I think the earliest we saw anybody pit was lap 96, so if they only go 96 into this run, we might see drivers pit with about 8 or 9 to go at the earliest. For those who can't make it. But there's going to be a substantial amount that will. We don't even know that race leader Marvin Sheth could make it. He's got a massive lead right now. He's putting a lot of trucks a lap down. This being the longest green flag run of the day, about 70 laps into it. Pretty easy to do the math, though, if I finish where I'm at. Average finish 32nd through 2 races of finishing 32nd. That's how you know it's pretty bad. There were only 2 trucks that DNF'd at Daytona, though, so I did beat 2 of them on speed. I think we finished on the lead lap, if I remember correctly. No laps led in the first 2 races of the season either. 300 laps total. Between these first 2 races, it'll be 500 total once we get through Bristol tonight. Todd Bodine getting a little closer to Aaron Crocker, the 98 truck. Crocker a lap down. Every truck that Bodine's going to be catching will be a lap down. Bodine to the inside. Hasn't cleared the 98 yet. A little contact getting into the corner. Todd Bodine will steer clear. He'll get to the outside of this next truck. Backs out of the gas early. To get underneath him. It's Craig Kenzer actually in the 47. Didn't realize it was him. I thought it was a fantasy driver at first. I was not trying to drive it in that deep. Passing the grass. .38 laps left. Driving as Alex Obey in the Xfinity Series, up 66 points after 5 races. Good lord. Josh Williams in 12th. Wish I was off to that good of a start in this season. I may be with Mark Martin. I have a 40-point lead after 3 races. Man, that's not very big, though, in this points format. Jimmy Johnson's had 3 top 5s to start the year, too. I think he's led a lap in the first 3 races to get some bonus points also. These two have had their run-ins a couple times already today, and the 137 took a huge left-hand turn, making a little bit more contact with Todd Bodine as Bodine makes the pass on him. Nice to know it took over 150 laps to settle in, finally pass some trucks cleanly. Big run to the outside, getting down into turns 3 and 4. Todd Bodine going way wide. Big undercut move. Center of the corner to make the pass. Rides in line behind David Reagan in the 6. It's underneath him. Reagan trying to wreck him. Todd Bodine hanging on to it. Oh, and Reagan trying to take him out again. That's the 3rd time he's tried to take us out today. I wrecked him once. I get it. I apologize for it. But to get us back 3 times, that's a little absurd. At some point, when do you draw the line? Whoops. Weather Expert Gaming, thanks for tuning in. Well, we're getting close to the finish of this one. 28 laps to go at the line. Bodine got to keep digging. Had to make that unscheduled pit stop today under green flag conditions, and as a result, that is why he is 2 laps down. Even going fuel only on that 2nd stop. Got into the back of the 101 off turn 4. Eric Darnell in the 99 for Roush Fenway Racing, stuck on the outside. Contact with Bodine. Todd went wide in the middle of the corner, didn't want to get out of the gas. Clears him, getting into the next corner. Tell you what, I'd be rich if I had a nickel for every time there was contact with the wall or another driver in today's race. That was not my fault that time. The 164 crowded us. And Todd Bodine got to clear him going into the corner. I would not be shocked if there was like around 10 trucks on the lead lap at the end of this race. The last restart was at lap 85, so it would be a 116 lap green flag run to the finish if we don't get another caution. .23 to go. Todd Bodine blocking big time down into the corner into turn 3. A little loose getting in, clipped the grass, hangs on to it. Marvin Sheth making on fuel to get the win and finish first and second in the first 2 races of the season. This who is out in front of the 192. He was in the 133 truck on NASCAR 06. Switching to the 192 into a Dodge now for this game. Tom Bodine getting to the inside. The 04 of Scott Legacy Jr. just up ahead. This is going to be pretty tough trying to get by Legacy on the front stretch, and he gets crammed into the wall. Todd Bodine has had enough of getting beaten around in this race. A little bit of frustration there. Todd Bodine just got crammed into the inside wall on the front straightaway after having the positioning. Tempers flaring. I think Legacy's a lap down, too. Well, he'd have to be, because Bill Lester was in second. He may not be in second anymore, but he's well behind us in second. At least one of the next closest trucks on the lead lap to Marvin Shett, who was pulled away in the late going to this race. We're getting back at Legacy. Todd Bodine is determined to get back at him. We're just gonna Kensington. Oh my God! We're good. We are good. That was a wild ride for Todd Bodine. I mean, Legacy's got the positions to lose here, being a lap down, not Todd Bodine. He's gonna try to wreck us again. Yep, there he goes. He tried. Good heavens. Get back here. There he is again. How much more does he want? Oh, sorry, Bill. Sorry. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was stupid. Yeah, that didn't work. Oh, my God. That did not work according to plan there. I was just going to let him go. I was going to let Bill go. And I wrecked myself trying to wreck him. I'm putting fresh tires on it. I don't care. Caution's out with less than 20 to go. I feel bad for Marvin Shett because he had a massive lead over second place, but Todd Bodine has had enough tonight. I'm not even going to make an adjustment. What the heck? Tempers flaring at Milwaukee. I'm the only driver 2 laps down, if I'm not mistaken, so I'm taking tires. I want grip. I want grip to be able to drive these last handful of laps. Should restart with around 15 laps to go, if I had to guess. Maybe a little less than that. Pretty long pit stop there for Todd Bodine trying to repair some damage. Still in the race, 32nd. Maybe we'll get somebody else to blow an engine for the end of the race. Quite a few trucks a lap down, though. Very few on the lead lap, and I believe Bodine going to be close to the tail end of the field with all of it. He does have one truck behind him, but that would be somebody who got the free pass during this last caution, and we've got a yellow on the restart. That was something right there. I spun the tires on the restart, and then when I was wiggling back and forth when I spun the tires, I turned across somebody who actually got underneath me there. That will be our 5th caution of the race today. Yellow number 5. Even with fresh tires, still spin the tires in the restart. I'm only doing that when I restart the center of the corner because the very start of the race, I was on the front straightaway, and I didn't spin the tires. But in this situation, it's a little bit different for myself. Now we're going to be right around 10 to go. A couple late race cautions. Back-to-back. Cautions breeding cautions. I like how the guy with the fuel, he hopped over at the fuel. Like, oh, right, no, never mind. No fuel, okay. Extending this first race of our doubleheader a little bit. Green flag back in the air. 8 laps to go, considering Todd Bodine's 2 laps down right now. Single file restart. No lap trucks on the inside of the lead lap trucks with this restart coming with less than 10 to go. Marvin Shett trying to hold on to win the race. And Ron Hornaday, who's been towards the front for most of the day, we'll see if maybe he has a chance to go back-to-back to start the truck season. I don't think anybody else is 2 laps down for Todd Bodine to try to race here to the finish. Try to pass just to make sure. Every point matters, especially in a season-long points format that's only 20 races, as this custom schedule season is. And that pass was for position, so Bodine now up to 31st. Oh man, got into his teammate. Now Musgrave got ran out of the way by that truck trying to catch Todd Bodine for position here to the end. Todd's got fresher tires than everybody else around him right now. So there was one other truck that was 2 laps down, so we were able to get 1 spot out of all this at the end of the race. Shenanigans going on. Scott Lagacy trying to wreck Todd Bodine again. I'm not even going to try to pass anybody else. Oh, we got somebody else pitting. The 180 truck. Hans Good is into the pits. So he has just blown an engine in the late going of this race. I don't know if anybody pitted during the yellow flags earlier, so maybe there's trucks pitting for that reason, that they may not make it to the end on fuel, and that is the case. So even with the couple late yellows, even with a couple of late cautions, we're still seeing some drivers pit. Unless somebody who's 1 lap down already pits, though, there's going to be no way for Todd Bodine to actually pick up any positions out of this. But a few trucks have pit. A little slide job on Eric Darnell in the 99 that time. More trucks onto pit road. A couple of them leaving the pit lane right now. It's Todd Bodine up to 28, so he is gaining some positions with some drivers that haven't made those stops under green. Todd Bodine did. He would have been able to make it on fuel anyway to the end. I believe the white flag will be in the air this time. Yep, 1 lap to go for Marvin Shett at the front of the field. We'll see how many more positions Todd Bodine can pick up. He is now up to 25th, so, I mean, things have gotten a little bit better at the end of the race. Depending on where some of those other drivers are that are on pit road right now, if they don't make it past the start-finish line by the time Bodine gets there, he could gain a couple more spots. He's not racing Eric Darnell for position or Aaron Crocker here. Off the exit of turn 4, checkered flag in the air. Marvin Shett has won, and still a 25th place finish for Todd Bodine. So, it is what it is. Bill Lester ends up 2nd, Bobby Hamilton Sr. in 3rd, Chris Parker 4th, and Stuart Claiborne will round out the top 5 in race 1 of our doubleheader tonight. Ron Hornaday, who started on the pole, ends up finishing in 6th place. He led 22 laps. Claiborne led 30 as well. Cleveland finishes in 7th, Van Dyke 8th, Chapman 9th, and Bell rounds out the top 10. Only 9 trucks finished on the lead lap today. And I believe Marvin Cheth gets a max points day as he does lead the most laps and wins the race. 79 laps led total for him. Musgrave finished a lap down in 21st. We finished 2 laps down in 25th. It scored us with 2 laps led, but I didn't actually lead any laps today. It did the same thing at Daytona. I didn't lead a lap, and it scored us with 1 lap led. So still no laps led on the season, but at least we finished better than what we did at Daytona. 25th at Milwaukee, despite finishing 2 laps down. And Daytona, we were on the lead lap, finished 32nd. Eubanks led 63. He blew a motor today. Timothy Peters blew an engine. Fisher blew an engine. Tucker blew an engine. 4 DNFs total in today's race. So it was still a fuel mileage race at the end with nobody pitting, trying to save. We only had 3 cautions in the first half, 2 in the second half, with nobody pitting during any yellows today. That's why it was still a fuel mileage race. Willy Wonka, thanks for tuning in. NASCAR Vintage 17, welcome into the stream also. Welcome from France. This game is PS2 or PS3? This is PS2. This game I'm playing is on PS2. It's also for PSP, Xbox, original Xbox. Oh, I gotta mute that before I get copyrighted. Mute. I forgot I had the main menu music on. That might have been too long. I might still get copyrighted. We'll know if you guys can go back and watch the stream after it's over or not. We are running one more race, so don't go anywhere. Bristol night race, 200 laps will be our 3rd race of the season. We'll check out the early season point standings. Marvin Cheth is likely going to be the points leader now. He finished 2nd at Daytona and just won the 2nd race of the season at Milwaukee. So a pretty strong start to the year for him. And he has a 25-point lead over Hornaday, who won the 1st race of the year as well. So I'll update the point standings real quick. And I will run a little bit of practice at Bristol before we get started. Believe it or not, I did practice before the Milwaukee race. It may not have looked like it with how bad the truck was handling-wise from the start. Just going to update the top 10 in points at the top of the screen. All right. Oh, I wanted to see where we were also. Currently, can't be good. Oh, jeez. 29th. 200 points out of first. Tied for 28th right now. But we're scored 29th. I guess Red Stewart's had a better finish than us, so we're sitting 29th. Ted Musgrave, 26 in points. He's 195 back. Yeah, so not only a bad start for Todd Bodine, but a bad start for our teammate Ted Musgrave. He beat us by 1 spot in this race, or in the last race at Daytona. He beat us by 4 spots here. The thing is, though, we actually should be 210 points out of first because we haven't led any laps, but it's credited us with laps led. So we should be 210 out of first. But I'll take the scoring glitch with the bad start we've had so far this season. Alright, well, on to Bristol. Hopefully we can do better. Hopefully. Run a little practice. Turn it off. I know I can. I didn't have to worry about that in the last game. Because it was just a random EA-generated soundtrack, so... Alrighty. I don't even know what to do here setup-wise. I'm just going to knock the air pressure down from the get-go. Put some downforce into it. We'll go from here for practice. David Reagan pulling out in front of us. Is he got... No, okay. So at least there are no rivals in practice. A little loose getting up to speed there. Come on, stop turning to the apron, Keegan. It is loose. We need more grip. I'm just a couple laps in. I gotta learn how to drive the track first. Seems like I'm closing in on Reagan at least. Ah, yeah, it's loose. It is very loose. Nope, 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 nope. That didn't work. I mean, at least it's nice I get somebody to try to race with. Tell you what, this truck series has been a struggle so far. He's pitting. Plan for me is going to be to run a dozen laps. Pit. Trying to put 2 more rounds of wedge into it. Or sorry, just 1 more round. 2 half rounds. I saw the 2 one there. I started with 1 round in it already. Gonna put a round of wedge back into the truck here. Kerchief yelling at the lug nut got jammed into the gun. Bang it out. Vondell Ellery, thanks for tuning in also. Ethan, welcome to the stream. That was not a quick stop. Did you not see him? You even said he was banging the lug nut out of the... Why do I even bother? He said Han's good. Getting up to speed, a little contact. Ay, ay, ay. We're good, we're good. Still felt a little loose. It was a little bit better. I think, alright, so here's what I'm going to do for qualifying. I'm going to take that round of wedge back out of it for qualifying. Try to make it a little edgy. Going to put some more tire pressure into it. So it's going to be very free for these 2 laps of qualifying, but the hope is that I could get closer to the front of the field, then I'll tighten it up. Because I need a better starting position than what I had at Milwaukee, or we're going to get beat around. I don't even know what that was. Don't ask me. I tried to climb the banking and it just went right into the wall. Come on, come on. Oh, no. That killed it. That just killed it. I knew it was going to be edgy. That wasn't terrible. It could be a little bit better, though. I don't think we're going to have a chance at the pole, but... Top 10. 7th. Todd Bodine will qualify 7th. Now put some downforce into it. Timothy Peters will be on the pole for this one. Okay, take the air pressure out. We're going to put more downforce. A lot of downforce. This thing might be a little too tight in traffic, but I just hope it's drivable, really. We'll go from there. I just pray it's not too tight. Man, loose at Milwaukee, loose at Bristol. Should be a one-stop race again. Bristol was better in the early 90s. Ah, man, granted, I haven't really watched any very early Bristol races when it was asphalt. But I have to say, though, I really love Bristol now. Now, with the next-gen car last year, that's a little different story. But the track itself, I do like the multi-lane Bristol. I do like it a lot. I've always liked Bristol since I was a kid, even when it was one group. But I'd say I'd probably argue like it more now. So green flag is in the air. Race 2 of our doubleheader underway at the Bristol Motor Speedway. A little overcorrection off the exit of turn 4. Little contact with that 117 truck. Pass made to get back into that starting spot of 7. This truck is still loose. That is insane. Glad we did something to it. Ron Hornaday dropping back. He's on the outside, so Todd Bodine down on the bottom trying to make a pass on him. Oh, and off the wall goes Hornaday and bounced into Bodine. Somehow Bodine didn't get knocked loose after the contact. Hornaday went a bit wide there. Todd trying to settle himself in. Timothy Peters leads the first few laps of the race today from the pole. 200 laps is all Todd Bodine's going to have to try to hang on for. It's a lot, but at least it's not 500 like in the Cup race. This is doable. Best starting position of the year for Todd Bodine as well. Really just looking for a top 10 in this race, honestly. That's all I hope for. If we can lead a lap also for the first time this year, that'd be bonus, but really just want a top 10. But I struggle in the Truck Series start this season off for Todd Bodine. Had to lift to keep it off the wall off turn 2. Hornaday closes the gap quite a bit on him. Got a pass for second going on off the exit of turn 4. 16.002 that last lap for Todd Bodine. That truck is getting freight trained after losing second. Todd Bodine scrapes the wall off the exit of the corner. Lap traffic's going to be kind of sketchy. I'm not going to lie. 15.936 that last lap for Bodine. Some trucks getting stuck on the outside. This is where Todd wants to try to take advantage of the situation as he gets underneath both those trucks that did get stuck on the outside lane, and this could move him up to 4th in the early going. And a 15.8 that last lap on the bottom as he made the pass. 191 still stuck up high. He was in 3rd just a couple laps ago, now back to 6th. A lot of pressure right behind Timothy Peters right now in the Ford truck. 15.834 that lap. There's a pass made. Bodine may be able to get to the inside of the 178 truck. He's going to attempt to, and he will get there. It's after the 134 made the pass for second. And now he's going for the pass on Timothy Peters. So Peters, who DNF'd in the first race of the night at Milwaukee, who qualified on the pole, led the first 15 laps. Todd Bodine just staying on the bottom. That's all he's doing right now, staying on the bottom. Trucks in front of him trying to make passes. He follows in line, and that's why he has gone from 7th to 2nd in the early going of this race. And is in no hurry to try to make a pass for the race lead right now, trying to take this race. Very patient. If the hole opens up, maybe he'll go for it, but he's not going to push the issue. A lot of racing still to go. We'll see if these two are going to be able to drive away at all. Look to be doing that 20 laps in. Allowing for Bodine to get good drivability in his race truck too. So first two races of the season, we have 4 cautions at Daytona, and we ended up having 3 at Milwaukee. Oh, sorry, 5 at Milwaukee. How many yellows will we get in this Bristol race today? This is the shortest of the first 3 races of the season, though. 2 of the longer races of the year were those first 2. This race barely over 100 miles. Badly as Todd Bodine wants to lead that first lap of the season again, he is just staying in line right now. Long ways to go in this race. Long way in a short race. A little loose off turn 4. Saw the truck slide a little wide in front of him off the exit of the corner, and he got back into the gas a little too soon and kind of spun the rear tires just a bit. A lot of pressure on that right rear. See, practice we only ran 14 laps, so I don't know what this truck is going to handle like when we end up getting 50-plus laps on the tires. How much looser is it going to get? Tried to tighten it up through practice and after qualifying, but what exactly, where exactly, I should say, will it be? Shouldn't be a fuel mileage race like the first race at Milwaukee was, with this being 200 laps and a half mile shorter of a racetrack. Standard one stopper. Probably going to be hardest to pass the truck with the clean air as well, so once they get into lap traffic, they may bottleneck just a little bit more, and Todd Bodine may be able to capitalize that way. Bodine's just got to hope he can get through traffic pretty easily and he doesn't lose the race leader through that lap traffic up ahead. Only going to get more and more comfortable, you'd imagine, with the race truck and just the line of it overall. More laps under his belt. Maybe could feel more confident later in the race to try to make a pass. He's trying to keep close now, and if we get to green flag pit stops, you got to hope there's no mistakes, there's no cautions. Oh man, one truck has trouble off the exit of the corner. Slams the inside retaining wall. I think that truck's blowing up. They're trying to make it to pit road. They'll slow up. It's the 101. Having the engine issue. We do continue to stay green. That was sketchy. So I'm getting loose off the exit of turn 2. Slammed the inside wall in the back straightaway and drove on. About another lap before pulling it into the pits. Well, we got one mechanical malfunction today. Had 4 of them at Milwaukee. 2 at Daytona and 1 in the early going tonight at Bristol. A little loose off turn 4, and Bodine's got to be careful now that he's alongside other trucks. Ted Musgrave qualified pretty poorly again in today's race. At the back of the field right now, and so is a lot of the trucks that were towards the back of the field that finished a lap down at Milwaukee, like David Reagan, Aaron Crocker, Scott Lagacy. I think Craig Kinzer's just up ahead as well. This will definitely be difficult for Todd Bodine. We're going to take our first field pass of race 2 of our doubleheader today. We'll swap to Ted Musgrave at the start-finish line this time by. Got a little loose. Center of the corner, up into the wall. I had no control of him. Now we'll take control. Musgrave lost that spot, maybe looking to get that pass back. And he will. Trying to build a little bit of a gap over the 134 truck, who continues to lead. Timothy Peters again led the first 15 laps of the race, 15 or 16. And that 134 truck's led every lap since. Quickly pulling away. Back to Bodine we go. Luckily got by David Reagan in the 6 truck. Really loose off turn 2 that time for Todd Bodine. Massive moment there. One lap truck between the top two. Todd Bodine, a little contact as he squeezes his way underneath. Pass will be made. Now they close on Scott Lagasse Jr. in the 04 truck. Eliminate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race today. Lagasse may have bounced off the wall on the exit of the corner there. Todd Bodine got underneath him. Clean pass on Lagasse. He's going to be all clear. It's a good thing he cleared that 04 truck with a clean pass, too. "50 laps complete." Bodine definitely gotten a little looser off the exit of turn 2 specifically a couple times now in the last handful of laps. Just a ton of lap traffic in front of the leaders. And it's probably going to be non-stop like this for a while. At least until we get a caution. Todd Bodine having a loose race truck, just staying in line, pinned in second, trying to have a good, consistent run. If he can lead laps on top of it, that'd be a bonus. 134 truck got into the back of that lap truck he's trying to pass right now. Todd Bodine loose off turn 2 again. His truck immediately went down towards the bottom of the track. Trey Kinzer, last truck on the lead lap. Ted Musgrave, one of the last couple trucks on the lead lap. He and Eric Darnell slowly getting around trucks. Trey Kinzer trying to do the same. Just past half a way out of fuel at this point in the run. Definitely don't want a short pit at Bristol if you could help it. Plan is going to be to take it 108 to 110 laps on fuel to start this race. And then we'll go from there. We will transfer to Ted Musgrave once again. We'll just take that second and final field pass. Musgrave, the last truck in the lead lap. Right in front of the leaders. Dive bomb into turns 3 and 4, gets by Eric Darnell. A lot of contact off the exit of turn 2. He's up to 21st. He's in 30th the first time we saw him earlier. Contact in front of him, and we've got trouble. No chance for Musgrave to check up that time, and we have our first caution of the day at Bristol. It all started, Bobby Hamilton got turned basically off the exit of turn number, what was that, turn 4? Yeah, turn 4. Bobby Hamilton Sr. got spun basically by the 135, and then Musgrave couldn't slow down in time. That was not far in front of the leaders. When we get our first caution, everybody will likely stay out, keep that track position. And we have our first yellow. We'll stay out of the pits and keep that track position for Musgrave. So our first yellow of the race at Bristol is out. Musgrave got to hold on to the lead lap at the very least. Green flag back in the air, lap 64. And the 134 truck still out in front of the field. Musgrave didn't take off well with that damage on this restart. Bobby Hamilton struggling, though, after a good start. Third in points after the first two races. But was in danger of going a lap down before he ended up in that wreck. Oh, wow. Todd Bodine lost a lot of ground on that restart. I think he was stuck on the outside with all the lap trucks getting by underneath him. And he dropped back to third. He scraped the wall off the exit of turn 2 as he got a little loose again. I don't think there was any contact. That was before I actually took control of the truck. And we'll stay with Bodine the rest of the race here. Lap 66. Gonna have to try to get by Scott Lagasse Jr. again, unfortunately. We'll see if all goes well this time. Went well the first time, and this time it will go well also. Contact. Bodine clear. Another lap truck. 134. Back down to the inside. I believe he is the truck trying to lead this line. Todd Bodine into the wall off turn 2, and that 107 truck got right back around him again. Not for position. And that right front tires in the yellow on the tire wear indicator right now. Todd Bodine just can't wait for that hole to open to get around trucks anymore. At least with the lap trucks, so he can try to keep up with the leaders. Just ran his fastest lap. 15.798 that last time. It's by another lap truck off turn 2. Side by side, 2x2 with the 4 trucks in front of him. 134 still out in front of the field. Not sure exactly who is in second. We know it's not Todd Bodine. Gave a shot to the truck in front of him. Get to the inside of the 178. I think the 178's on the lead lap. And he is. A little bump and run for Bodine to get to second. So he struggled on that restart, but he'll get right back to the back of Clausen pretty soon here. And he is there now. The 178 truck kind of followed him up to this point. So it sounds like the 101 car coming back into this race, which is interesting. I'm not sure if he made his way to pit row, but he's still in the pits. If he comes back into this and he's very slow, that will be very interesting to see how things go from there. Take our second and final shifting of the camera angles here in this second race tonight at Bristol. Good start to this race for Todd Bodine. He's been pretty much 8th on up all the way throughout this race. One caution in the early going. His tires are starting to go away. He remains in second. Still hasn't led a lap in this race or this season. With Clausen having that clean air, chance maybe for Bodine to get around him would have been in the lap traffic, but he wasn't able to do so. Truck is dancing. I really don't know if I want to make an adjustment change, though, because I'm just scared I'm going to be too tight. We're not going to be as fast. At least it's somewhat drivable for a short race. That's the big key here. If it was a 500-lap Bristol race, I'd definitely be making an adjustment change. But knowing it's just one-stop race, we have barely over 100 to go, I think we just keep it the way it is. Hope we're not going to be too terrible of traffic. We'll see how the cautions play out the rest of the way. Big closing rate off turn 4 that time for Todd Bodine. Actually, almost got into the back of the leader. Sounds like the 103 truck that might have had an engine failure earlier in the day. Also going to try to make his way back in. He's got to pit road, but hasn't made his way back onto the track yet. So, got 2 trucks. We'll see if we get a caution and maybe they come back in that way, but I don't think they're actually going to return to the track, like our crew chief had said they were going to. We'll stick with the far chase cam for the rest of this race. Clausen logging in a ton of laps led. Don't know that he has even led any laps in the first couple races of the season. Very good chance we're going to have 3 different winners, though, in these first 3 races. I haven't seen Ron Hornaday in the top 5 the whole race. He qualified, I think, 4th, but fell back pretty quickly. Bodine was even able to get around him in the opening laps for about 7th place. Good little battle here. That left front tire starting to eat away at Todd Bodine's race truck. Pretty loose getting into turns 1 and 2 that time. It's moving around on him a lot. If he was in heavy traffic on these older tires right now, he wouldn't be having a lot of fun. She's got that one truck in front of him. They pulled away from everybody else behind him. Todd Bodine having a good run. Truck in front of him wiggled a little bit, getting into turns 3 and 4. Bodine got off the exit of the corner really well, gets to the inside. Clear with a clean pass. Impressive move. Todd Bodine to the lead for the first time this season. If he can lead this lap at the line, it's going to be close. There's contact. Todd Bodine will lead his opening lap of the season finally, after 392 laps. I had to fight for it there. Really shut the door. And as we are getting to the halfway point of this race, really trying to be aggressive. And now he's got the clean air for the first time today. Let's help his truck drive maybe a little bit better. He's pulling away from Clausen too. There's got to be a reason he hung with him for a while. And I don't know if Bodine's going to get into lap traffic before we get to green flag pit stop, so that's going to allow him to really grow this lead out. Then he can pit, get fresher tires, and go from there. There's still a chance he could lead the most laps in today's race. It's not impossible. A wall scrape off turn 2. Let the truck feed a little wide. Careful not to touch that apron. Got a bit loose that time. Doing so towards the exit of the corners 2 laps in a row. Just mowed the wall down off of turn 2. Allowed Clausen to reel him back in a bit. And Clausen going to pit this time from second, so he is short pitting. He will be one of the first trucks onto pit road. Handful of them are pitting right now on the front stretch, a couple on the back. All 4 tires in the yellow and the tire wear indicator for Todd Bodine, but he's going to stay out as long as he can. This is his best chance to win a race so far in the early going of the season by far. This is the first race he's been in the top 10, and I just realized that I haven't been higher than 13th in the running order first 2 races. And not only we haven't led a lap, but actually competing here. Qualified 7th. Ran pretty much 8th or better this whole race. Had to check up with Hans Good getting up to speed after leaving pit road on the back straightaway. And may have cost a Bodine a little bit of time. We're halfway home. 100 down, 100 to go. 1 caution into this 200-lap race tonight at Bristol and our second race of 2 in the doubleheader. We'll have a doubleheader for the Busch Series tomorrow night on the channel as well, which will start at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for race number 1. And Bodine stuck on the outside. He's catching these lap trucks in a bad spot that are coming out of the pits in front of him on fresher tires. Pause it for a quick second. I want to make sure my settings are right with the pit options. Okay, it is. It wasn't at Milwaukee, just wanted to make sure. Hopefully that doesn't mess my rhythm up. Nope, we're okay. And lap 108 to 110 is when Bodine's going to pit. Honestly, with that caution coming out, we're going to push it to lap 110 and then hit pit road. Going to get to the inside of the 121 truck. Hans Good passed him, left the bottom lane open to get by him. Todd Bodine did just that. Even on the older tires, making the pass on the lap truck, who has fresher tires than him. Fastest lap, 15.796 on over 100 lap old tires right now for Todd Bodine. Wheeling it in the closing laps of this tire stint. I think that's Ron Hornaday down to the bottom trying to get up to speed in the 33 truck. Todd Bodine got stuck on the outside going into turn 1. Gets back down to the bottom in the center of the corner though. Bodine will be pitted on the front stretch after qualifying 7th. Got a 1-lap lead on the field. He may be the last driver that still has to hit pit road. Contact in front of him between Hornaday and Good. Bodine checked up to keep it off of him. Hornaday making more contact with him off the exit of turn 4 as well. Todd Bodine will pit this time. On the back straightaway, getting into turns 3 and 4. To the bottom of the track he goes, and onto pit road he comes. It'll be a 4-tire stop for Todd Bodine, and there will be no adjustments with this stop. Gonna ride it out to the finish. Now needing a clean stop. He was the last truck on the lead lap to pit. And it is a clean stop, about 15 seconds. May lose some track position. He'll pull up onto the racetrack. Yep, he is in second. Clausen leads. I kind of wondered if that would be the case with Clausen pitting about 10 laps before Todd Bodine. And with the window being about 110 laps on fuel, everybody that pitted pretty much after lap 90, which was the whole field, will make it to the end. So no fuel mileage race here for race 2 like we saw in race 1 with the leaders. Clean air right now for Clausen. Todd Bodine trying to run him down. Hopefully get around it before they get into lap traffic. There's still a race for the most laps led between these two trucks. Got somebody blowing up down on the bottom. I think that was Bobby Hamilton Sr. who got in an accident earlier. Todd Bodine for the lead. In 3 and 4, and he quickly gets by Clausen. And ran his fastest lap, 15.727. Caution, trouble, in front of the leaders, off of turn 2. Wow, that was a close call. Bodine had to go all the way to the bottom to try to miss it. our second caution of the race. The 151 goes around contact both in front of him and with somebody to his outside. Caused him to turn around. So the plan will be to stay out of the pits. Obviously, everybody just hit pit road. And we finally get our second caution of the race. Everybody good on fuel to the end. And hopefully Todd Bodine will have a better restart. This time will be the control truck. Green flag back in the air. Quickly got to the bottom. Legacy was that truck behind who was a rival after the Milwaukee race. Good thing he got in front of him. Now there was a lap truck that was able to clear Todd Bodine. But if Todd Bodine could get around him, he's going to have a lot of clean air. $80 to go this time by. Too low of a dive that time. Couldn't keep the speed down off the extra turn 4. A little bit better that time. Now we'll be on the inside into turns 3 and 4. Clean pass made. Todd Bodine trying to pull away as he's got the clean air again following that caution and the restart. Was that the final yellow of the race? We've had at least 3 cautions every race this season. We had 2 there. Up to this point in this race. 1 second lead for Todd Bodine. And probably 2 lap trucks between the leaders as well. Now we just got to win a Busch race with Jimmy Johnson. Hopefully we can do that tomorrow. We'll have 2 attempts to do it. Lowe's Motor Speedway and Darlington will be the 2 races on our doubleheader tomorrow night. Longer race will be the first one, 300 miles and 200 miles for the Darlington race. Caution for the 3rd time today. Trouble off turn 2 again. Second caution there off of turn 2, both in the last 10 to 15 laps. And this time Ron Hornaday is involved. I think Scott Legacy Jr. was the truck he got into. Take another look. It was Legacy and Hornaday. Legacy got squeezed into the wall. Hornaday got into his left rear and turned himself around. Bodine's going to have to try to survive yet another restart. Feel like Tyler Reddick at Coda a couple days ago. At least we only get 1 attempt at a green-white checker in this situation. Green flag back in the air, lap 132. Legacy going to get in front of Bodine on the restart. That is going to be a very tough race truck to try to pass for Todd Bodine's sake after they had a couple of run-ins at Milwaukee. It's not going to be easy for Todd Bodine. Gets to the inside. Drives it deep into the corner. A little slide job. Clears him. Clean pass. Bodine appreciates that. Caution again. Trouble off turn 4. Yellows breeding yellows here at Bristol. Our 4th of the day. Oh my gosh, somebody has just flipped at Bristol. up on the driver's side door. I can't tell who that is. The 163, it's the Old Spice truck. Got hit from underneath, too, by the 119. We have a flip at Bristol. More like a rollover and a slide, but still. And another restart incoming here in the late going to this race for Todd Bodine. I really do feel like Tyler Reddick. Green flag back in the air again. 62 laps to go. Bodine's doing a good job kind of letting that first truck go, then getting back to the bottom in line behind the second truck. It's working out for him. Legacy got the free pass with that yellow. The wall scrape off turn 2 that time for Bodine. He's going to give up the bottom as a result going into turns 3 and 4. 60 laps left and Todd Bodine stuck on the outside. He's going to get to the bottom off turn 2. Maybe. Got into the wall again, unfortunately. And he will get to the bottom. And Hornaday is up to second now. The rivals, the two that probably went toe-to-toe around this time for the championships of the Truck Series of Ron Hornaday and Todd Bodine. They battle for the win here at Bristol. Hornaday involved in a wreck a little earlier. There's no clean air right now for Todd Bodine with these lap trucks getting ahead of him on this restart. Another slight wall scrape from Todd Bodine. We got a newcomer into second. Somebody just passed Hornaday. It was a 178 truck. Not sure of his name. NASCAR 07 right now. Trying to intimidate this next lap truck in front of him to make it an easy pass for Todd Bodine. That worked out perfectly. Bodine got around him. And to the wall, though, off turn 2 as he's got try to regather the truck. He's driving too hard right now with a lot of pressure behind him. He's got to start to kind of hold up again. And if he can just get that clean air, I think he'll be okay. Oh, boy. Ziggy MSIZ, thanks for tuning in. Hornaday to the inside of the 178 truck. 107 gets a little loose. He gets intimidated now by Todd Bodine, and Todd Bodine's got the clean air. Should help the truck handle a little bit better right now. 53 laps to go at the line. Definitely his worst restart of those since taking the race lead. Hornaday into second. He got by the 107 truck as well. He's trying to do what Bodine did at the beginning of the race, riding behind Clausen. Doing a great job staying close to him, too. Hornaday hasn't led a lap today. Being up towards the front, even though we're only the third race into the season. Knowing he's towards the front of the point standings, Bobby Hamilton Sr. DNF'd. He was third in points. Hornaday second. Already a race winner this season. Todd Bodine would really like to keep the lead and keep him from leading any laps today. As well, Todd Bodine still has an outside chance of trying to get a max points day. It's going to be very close between himself and Clausen of who may lead the most laps. Clausen led a lot in the first half of this race, and even after the green flag pit stops, he cycled the lead. Bodine got out in front, and then the caution came out a few laps later. It's going to be a little bit before lap traffic becomes a factor, but if we stay green to the end of the race, it definitely will be a factor in this one. Wall straight. Off turn 2. It seems like any time that Bodine starts to go a little bit wide, it's been off turn 2 every time. He had a slide getting into turn 1 there. This is a battle. Oh, and wide goes Todd Bodine. Got a door bang Hornaday at the line. Hornaday all the way down to the bottom. Oh, and there he goes. What a crossover. Hornaday did lead that lap, though, so 5 bonus points for the 33. As soon as he got around Todd Bodine, he slipped up the racetrack. He entered so deep into the corner he couldn't hold it. Todd Bodine was able to get right back around him. Another mistake off turn 2. Starting to get away from Hornaday till that happened. I wonder if Hornaday may try to use the bumper. A little tight in the center of the corner, 40 laps to go. Bodine gapped him that time. They're breaking away from everybody else behind him. For now, if they get to really battling, it is not over for anybody else. It is close. He is so close to that back bumper in the middle of the corner. That time enough was left open on the bottom. A little wall scrape. Bodine loses the lead. Hornaday back out in front again. Todd Bodine sends it into the corner. He doesn't care. Hornaday passed him clean. He's going to rough him up. Todd Bodine trying to get those extra bonus points for leading the most laps. Hornaday's had a few laps let in here late. That's how determined Todd Bodine is to win this race. After a rough start, the first 2 races, 25th in the first race of the night at Milwaukee. Season opener at Daytona last week. Finished 32nd. Hornaday, who has already won 1 race this year, off to a great start. Finished 6th at Milwaukee as well. 2nd in points. Bodine trying to get a win and try to close that gap at least a little bit. Hornaday is there. Todd Bodine leads that lap by inches at the line. Contact as they get into turn 1. Todd Bodine going to get him back, though. And Hornaday, back and forth they go. Slips to the inside again. Got to credit to Ron. He's passing him clean. Todd Bodine trying to lean on him a little bit. Todd Bodine's driving the wheels off this thing, just trying to keep with Hornaday. 30 to go. What a battle. Couple of truck champs of Ron Hornaday, Todd Bodine, and the closing laps at Bristol. And no lap traffic around him. It is straight mano a mano for right now. It's amazing these guys have been able to drive away from the field doing what they're doing. Todd Bodine trying not to have another hiccup. And allow Hornaday to get back to him again. He's just scared Hornaday's going to pass a pull away from him. That's why he keeps making contact, trying to get back around him as soon as he can. Because we haven't seen Hornaday lead laps until recently. Really contend for the lead. All these cautions, he's been having good restarts, getting his way through the field. Now he's up in position to try to win. Kind of stinks because he was involved in that second caution, but here's what it is. Him and Legacy got together. Right front starting to really wear down on this race truck. Bit loose that time off the exit of turn 4. Usually it's been turn 2. The truck's been getting light at times. And that time it was turn 4. Hornaday went wide that time, getting into 3 and 4. Whatever ground he gained on the other end of the track, Bodine kind of stretched that lead back out again. Protecting the bottom down into turn 3. Got loose, kind of let his truck go there. Hornaday ran the middle groove through 3 and 4 the last time. And now he lost time through 1 and 2. 20 to go. This time by Bristol, 3rd race of the truck season. 17 to go after this. An early season championship battle between these two trucks that you're watching at the front of the field. Bodine just ran his fastest lap of a 15.694, and then he got into the wall that time off of turn 2. And Hornaday trying to come right back after him again. Right when he stretched it out running his best lap, he ran one of his worst. I think they're going to catch lap traffic too. I figured they were going to, but I didn't think it was going to be this late before they caught him. But as much battling that has gone on between the 33 and the 30, nobody being patient here. Hornaday thinks maybe he can just take the lead, drive away from him. But every time he's passed him, Bodine's put the bumper right back to him. $16 to go. Todd Bodine wiggled. Lost some ground through turns 1 and 2. Todd Bodine widened that gap out a little bit quicker than Hornaday that last lap. He doesn't want there to be any sort of a shot for Hornaday to get to his back bumper in these closing laps. Somebody blowing up down on the inside of the track, limping their way to pit road. Might have been the 119. I think he was involved in that last accident. The truck that flipped. Yes, we had a truck flip at Bristol. He wasn't the one that did it, though. Oh, and up the track goes Bodine. He leads that lap at the line, but it's Ron Hornaday on the inside. There's contact that time. Hornaday doors in. Might have crowded the 30 just a little bit. Todd Bodine trying to get him back. They're leaning on each other a lot. 11 to go. Todd Bodine moves him. Back up the racetrack another time. Oh, he got loose. And they get together again in turn 3, and Hornaday's in the wall. Might have scraped the wall getting into the corner, 10 to go. And leading that last lap, Todd Bodine has just clinched the most laps led. Hornaday and Bodine trading paint. Both front tires going away on the same lap off of turn 4. 9 laps left. Still haven't caught lap traffic. Maybe they won't to the end. The rate they're going at. to 7 to go. 3/10 of a second. Todd Bodine doesn't want Ron Hornaday to have any chance to get back to him. Got to keep the truck pinned down to the bottom as much as possible. He's really widened that gap out. About a half a second lead with 6 to go. Whole line of trucks that are side by side in front of Todd Bodine. He's not going to have anywhere to go. He's stuck. 5 to go. He's waiting for an opening. Cramming his truck down on the bottom of another. Gets by the first lapper. 126 up on the outside. Bodine makes a clean pass on him as well. 2 lap trucks between the top 2. That'll help Bodine a little bit. Hornaday hasn't gotten around him yet. 4 laps to go. Another truck up on the outside lane. Todd Bodine trying to get underneath them. Drove it in really deep. He's going to get there. 3 to go. A lot more breathing room for Todd Bodine. 6/10 of a second lead at the line. He's getting past the lap trucks a lot quicker than Hornaday. Hornaday still hasn't completely cleared the first one. Big slide, though, getting into turn 3. Almost making contact. Luckily, stayed off the truck to his outside was Todd Bodine. 2 to go. Just try to get to the white flag now. I think he's going to get there. A little scrape off turn 2. Stayed in the gas that time. Trying to power through it. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for Todd Bodine. Half a second lead and at least 2 lap trucks between the top 2. Hornaday got held up even more in the center of the corner. Not going to have a chance to get the Bodine's back bumper. Todd Bodine will win his first truck race of the season. His first top 10. His first laps led were in this race. He gets a max points today as he led the most laps en route to victory after qualifying 7th. And he beat a guy who already had a win this season at Daytona to do it. That was Ron Hornaday, who ended up 2nd. 3 races, 3 different winners in the truck season. Ron Hornaday at Daytona, Marvin Sheth at Milwaukee in the first race, and Todd Bodine. After a struggle in the first 2 races, we'll go to victory lane here at Bristol. Probably my best burnout. 3 with Mark Martin were kind of, Daytona in the grass, I guess, was somewhat alright. A lot more smoke here. That's a victory for Todd Bodine. We'll take a look at the rest of the top finishers. Wow, Marvin Sheth finished 3rd. He's finished in this same order. 2nd, 1st, and 3rd in the first 3 races. Todd Bodine led 3 laps. 100 laps led for Todd Bodine today. Hornaday, sorry, led 3. Started 4th. Marvin Sheth ended up with 3. Or sorry, finished 3rd. No laps led. I apologize. Parker ended up 4th. Bill Lester ended up 5th. Jackson finished 6th. Van Dyke 7th. Eubanks 8th. Phillips 9th. And Hans Good rounded out the top 10. Phillips led 1 lap today as well. 18 lead changes, 4 cautions. 99.9 miles per hour average race speed. 1 hour, 3 minutes, 58 seconds total time in this race today, and a half a second margin of victory. Clausen led 78 laps today, 2nd most, finished 13th. He fell back with all those cautions coming out in the second half of the race. We had 3 yellows in the span of like 20 laps from about 60 to go to 40 to go, but I should say more like 80 to go to 60 to go in there, but ran it out, green to the finish. Good battle between Ron Hornaday and Todd Bodine. I didn't think Hornaday was really in contention to win today's race, but made the most of it on those restarts and was right there at the very end. Carswell, Claiborne, Bobby Hamilton Sr. We saw blew an engine. Clement blew an engine late. Tinkin blew an engine. Those guys finished. My bad. 4 DNFs, excuse me, total in this race. Same as Milwaukee in the first race tonight. And we will check out the point standings. No victory lane, unfortunately, in this game for the Truck in the Bush series. I'm muting everything. Yeah, I kind of bullied Ron Hornaday there. He hit us the last time he passed us, but I did hit him like the first 2 times he got by us. At 3rd time, I was like, nope, I'm going to win. We got another short track coming up at Martinsville. A lot of short tracks at the beginning of the season. I do believe that is a 50% race. Let me check just to make sure. Yeah, so our first 50% race of the season will be Martinsville. So we will have a doubleheader for the Truck Series the next time we run, because Martinsville and Texas will both be 50% races. So it's only going to be 100 laps for the first Martinsville race. Hope to see you guys for that one. Thanks everybody for tuning in here tonight. Be sure to like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We'll have more NASCAR 7 action on the channel tomorrow. We'll be Busch Series racing. Doubleheader there for 2 100% races as well. We'll race at Lowe's Motor Speedway for race 1. Second race will be at Darlington. Hope to see you guys for that. Thanks for watching. And again, have a good rest of your Tuesday night, everybody.